So, as you can see behind me, I have a photo that I actually took like 7, 8 years ago or something at the Georgia-Florida game that we cannot call the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
You can call it that,
Cannot
Wes.
call it
You
that.
have that right. You have the First Amendment right. You have your
Well,
protection of free speech. You can call it the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, by God, if you want to.
that's cool. That was sort of a bit of irony. I was calling it that by not calling it that. I don't know what. Anyway, so I thought this was appropriate for this week. It is a great venue. I'm still not a huge fan of the neutral site. Not a fan. I would love to see home and home. I would love to see.
So would everybody else in the conference,
I,
Wes.
I would
So would
love.
everybody else in the
I
conference.
mean, it would be great. It would be better for recruiting. I think you could, host recruits and bring them into your home, your home stadium on this a huge game, a huge rivalry. But I digress. That could be a whole discussion in and of itself. One day they might do it, but I doubt it. They're making a lot of money off of this. So
City
anyway,
Jacksonville needs that shot in the arm. They're not
yeah,
taking that game anywhere.
yeah, and actually, I think it was when this photo was taken. It was, I don't remember what numbers both teams were, but I think Game Day was there and SEC Nation at the same time was there. So it was.
I will tell you this though, Wes. I don't know if Taylor Swift played a concert at that stadium, but I guarantee she would have made more money.
Well, that is an excellent point.
God knows Taylor can sell out a stadium.
Right. Well, and this isn't a Taylor Swift podcast, but
Not at
the
all.
theater,
Not
the
at all.
theater, the concert in theater right now is making, I think it's like made more than most movies, like of all time already.
Listen,
Right.
I don't look, the wife is a Swiftie. All right. So I bought her a ticket to go see that in Atlanta for Christmas, which I had to take a second mortgage out on the house to pay for the ticket.
Gosh,
but
yeah.
that's beside the point. And then when we got back from our cruise last week, immediately we went to Atlanta so her and our buddy Chance could go to the movie premiere. So she had a blast. Okay. And she was like, "You don't want to go?" And I'm like, "No, it's 11:30 at night. I want to go to bed. I do not need to go see the future Mrs. Travis Kelce dancing around on a stage. I'm good. Let's go to the house."
Yeah.
But seriously, Midnights is a bop. Anyway, let's go ahead. It is a really good album. I will say this about it.
Yeah. All right. So the next game, as we
should talk about Taylor more.
We should.
Jesse's not here. I'm sure she loves Taylor.
She draws viewership too. Look at the NFL. How many more people are watching the NFL now because of her?
Travis,
literally because of her.
Did you see the numbers on Travis Kelce's jersey sales after they announced that those two
was it like a 400% increase, wasn't it?
400,000 something, like it was some ridiculous number. It's like, oh, he's dating Taylor. I have to get his jersey. Like,
yeah,
Swifties are weird, dude. No offense. If you're listening to the podcast, you're also Swiftie. You're in a safe place. No one's saying boo about it. But man, they are very passionate. If Taylor had a college football program, there'd be no question on who's the most loyal set of fans.
Well, not to mention the NIL. Can you imagine the NIL for that?
I don't want to even think about the NIL.
They would have all the best players all the time.
All the time.
All right, number one, Georgia, 7-0. This has officially become a Taylor Swift podcast.
There's your title for the episode, Wes. This is all about Taylor Swift.
It's all about Taylor Swift. 4-0 in the SEC at Florida. 5-2, 3-1 in the SEC. This is 3:30 on CBS from Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. Matt, let's start with you. What is your prediction for Georgia versus Florida?
Oh, before I forget, because this is a 3:30 kickoff and Gary Danielson will be on the call, he's still a horse's ass. He was during the Bama game too. Anyway, sorry. I'm saying all kinds of outrageous stuff. Jesse needs to get back here.
We have to have that consistency, right? I mean, if you're going to talk about Gary Danielson, it's got to be.
I've been saying it for 6 years now. He's a horse's pursuit. Listen, I want Florida to win this game. I want it so bad. No offense, Wes. I love you. I mean it.
None taken.
You're near and dear to my heart. But Georgia fans need a humbling something fierce. The Dogs need a humbling something fierce. This is a little bit of a trap game because Georgia's kind of had moments where they were kind of on top, kind of not, kind of slow, kind of fast. They can't pick up what they're doing. Brock Bowers is not in this game. This is the perfect recipe for this whole thing to come unraveled. But let's remember that this is Georgia. Kirby Smart, as much as I detest the man, is going to find a way to keep them focused. So I'm going to say Georgia wins this thing, but it's going to be by single digits. I say Georgia wins 33-24.
You make a great point about Kirby getting teams up for the game, and I still actually have this clip, and I want everyone to hear it. It was one of the pregame speeches for the national title. Here you go.
All I want to do is eat. I want you to eat. I want you to eat. I want you to want this. You want it? Do you want it? Show me.
Like, I'm ready to run through a wall right away after that. So
I again, I'll say it one more time for the kid in the back. I hate, detest, loathe Kirby Smart.
yeah.
But the man is a motivator, and he will find a way to get you motivated. He's like a drill sergeant, but he will make you good. So yeah, I get it. I understand it. I don't like it, but I get
Now,
it.
Georgia has not covered this year in many games.
That's
We've
not
talked
good.
about this a lot, where they're supposed to win by a lot, and they win by just enough.
You remember the old adage, Wes? Good teams win, great teams cover the spread.
That's right. I think this is another game like Kentucky, though, where the Dogs actually wake up and play the game that they're actually capable of. Even without Bowers, obviously this week and this past 2 weeks, because they've had a bye, has been nothing but figuring out who's going to step up. And I guarantee you that everyone has been challenged, because without Bowers there, you got to have somebody who wants to be the guy. And I hope that's many of them, right, who want to step up to that calling. But, we'll see. The key for the Dog defense to me is going to be getting pressure on Graham Mertz, who has shown that he can sling it with the best of them this year. We talked about it before with the games that are coming up. This sort of begins that gauntlet for games for Georgia, where essentially every one of these games is a potential challenger for the East, as they go. So I do think that inspires the Dogs. I am going to go UGA 34-17. Jesse is picking Georgia as well. A lot closer, 31-28.